Hey yo, how is it going? I hope that all is good and that I may take few minutes of your time by continuing the exploration of Zelha ruins, where I have found this legendary archer called Alren Storm. Unfortunately, as I don't need an archer and I was quite far away from home, I didn't bother knocking him out and just ventured deeper into this place which is called Pagoda of Boundless Lusts. Well, that sounds naughty if you ask me. But, regardless of its name, my curiosity still pushed me forward, where me and Aryan have spotted between 10 to 15 exiles that needed to be dealt with. But remembering what happened in New Asagarth when I got swarmed, we needed to be super careful in here. It took a while due to the sheer number of enemies surrounding my follower all at once, and it required me to step in as Aryan got constant stunlock. However, these exiles were quite easy to deal with, as their levels must have been way lower than the ones of Nordheimers. Therefore my comparison of these two groups of exiles was rightfully wrong. Anyways, once all of them perished, it was the time to speak with a single friendly exile in here, Yakira, Priestess of Derketo.
The twin serpents whisper, and a strange... I am the High Priestess to the mysteries of Derketo. I perform the sacred obscenities. The haughty priests of Mitra and Set frown down upon my wanton rites. Holy concubine, they call me when I am listening, and cultish whore when they think I am not. Yet one by one, these clerics offer themselves to me willingly. I kiss the jelly right out of their skull sockets, and they scream, and they beg me to do it again. And they see the universe and their gods as they truly are, and they weep black blood when they realize they have but 2 eyes to give me. Derketo is my goddess. From her throne of horn and bone, she rules over fertility and the underworld. In her right hand, she holds a lotus bloom. In her left hand, she holds the twin serpents, lust and death. There is only lust and death, the little death and the endless sleep. Derketo awakens the goddess in me. Through her, I have teased the savage animal and enslaved the living clay. Through her, I have freed the minds of my people to orgiastic frenzy. Through her, I have made the living beg, the dead moan, and given some skulls more reason than others to grin. My people are the Lemurians. Ours is an ancient story, cast out of island cities that were ancient before the histories were written. Time and again, my people met betrayal and enslavement, but always we break free. Now we find ourselves in this jungle. Through Derketo, I have given my people transcendent pleasures. My people have given themselves over to Derketo so completely that they are now free to shed the skin of mere reality. In these jungles, too, stalk the ancestors of the Lemurians. They emulated beasts, lay with beasts, and became beasts. I do not begrudge them their path. Do you seek the mysteries of Derketo? Do you dare the transcendent ecstasies? Would you awaken the sleeping deity, swaddled in the cradle of your flesh? The twin serpents live inside all of us. The coiled splendor. The uninitiated merely spill these energies through their pelvis. But I can teach you the ways to coax the twin serpents up your spine, up the cosmic ladder, into my mind and hands. With the twin serpents, lust and death, so mastered, you can perform the miracles of Derketo.
Well, that was weird to say the least. What a bunch of lunatics these Lemurians are, and I am not going to discuss any details about what we've just heard. So, we carried on moving deeper into the jungle where we fought giant snakes, panthers, and reptilian monstrosities that closely resemble mutated rhinos. Then, moving out of the jungle, I was traveling by virtue of the documented map we can access, as I was simply curious to check if there is anything of importance in here, and I found this, a ghostly green wall which from my experience I wouldn't want to cross. For those who don't know, it would mean an instant death, as we have a bracelet on our arm that prevents us from leaving the exiled lands. Now, what you can see is called a Silkwood, and you can easily figure out why by the silken name and roaming spiders. The reason I am in here is to see and fight with one of the giant spiders that spawn around the jungle. I was once again on the hunt for legendary weapons, as I had a few thralls waiting for good equipment to be handed in. So we have found the foe we've been searching for, giant spider of a different variant than the one we could find around desert areas. I also have a feeling that this one is capable of hurting us more, but as I am not with Nock, I can't directly compare these two creepy crawlies. The fight was long, and I have spotted that Aryan is falling with health below the percentage that we could see on the spider's bar, so I decided to once again run away and come back later. Right, being back in the HQ, I can present you a new area of it that contains armored animal pen. It was a costly build, but I am still very much determined to get the greater pet of any variant, and as I had wolf cubs ready at hand, I am trying my luck to get greater wolves this time. Unfortunately, I didn't have their number one favorite food, which is exquisite meat, so I gave them exotic flesh, which has way lower chance to turn them into greater ones, but I would still try to see if it works to some degree. Now that Aryan is level 20, I can spend some time with the other thralls waiting for some adventures, so it is time to retire our first thrall in order to get Tsen, originally Cimmerian Berserker, on board and whoop some creatures in these hostile lands. So I got Tsen to follow, and while we were moving towards Aryan, I had a quick glance into the gear that our helper-to-be had, and I found the Star Metal Greater Sword, which, if I am meant to be absolutely honest, is something I really wanted, but hey, Tsen has priority as out of two of us, I am definitely not going to be the primary damage dealer. Next is the reason why we have paid a visit to Aryan. I didn't want to waste time searching for materials, so I will use the ready crafted gear. Don't worry, I will have to equip all of my thralls as another purge is getting closer. Obviously, every single new thrall has to be battle tested, so I went to visit our old friend Chungus Krok to see how our new thrall is going to deal with the threat. Funny thing being that during the fight our berserker got launched into the air and has landed within this body of water, meaning the Krok has aggroed onto me and Tsen was out of the fight. I do not recommend sending your thrall to fight with this creature so close to the lake. Once we got back here, we defeated the Krok, opened the chest and collected yet another soul spale. Then we went to fight with the giant spider, looted the chest which contained vaulting pole, meh. Next in the queue was Rod Branch, which for whatever reason got launched into the air just like when Nock fought with it, but I guess this will be a recurring theme for that specific world boss. Anyway, I opened the chest which contained the Impaler, yet another meh, and following the demise of first Rod Branch, I decided to try my luck with one located up north, and it got launched in the same fashion as all the other ones we encountered. Anyhow, I collected the skeleton key and went towards the loot chest, only to get another Vird, and this one will be very useful. In case you are wondering why it will be so useful, is because Moonraven had a slightly worse single-handed sword, and from what I have gathered from you guys, thanks Stagger Run, and from Reddit forums, mace will be the best choice for our thralls, but I wanted to see how they are doing with a shield as well, so I transferred Soul Spell to our new follower. I have came back to hunt Giant Krok yet again, as I really counted on getting this shield here, Mistmourne. This one will be great for protection against high temperatures. Not that I will use it now, but it will definitely come in handy at some point. Then I navigated slightly to the north to clash with King Scorpion to get another key and open a chest that contained Baltair's Razor, which I have pretty much instantaneously given to Tsen, as the new razor had higher damage output and that is something I can't say no to at any given point, and another rune for the croc which gave us Dueling Blade of the Hawk. Now, something that I have messed up a few episodes ago, and it's time to make some amendments. Jon the Tinkerer is going to his right workplace, which is the furnace, so he can speed up the smelting progress. Thank you, Michael Briefer, for pointing that out. This is something I haven't done since we started this series. Reset attributes. See, I want to check how the War Party perk fares against well-trained one, plus few other bits. Check this out. This is a well-trained, and this is a War Party perk. Obviously, we are going to lose a massive bonus to a single thrall, but we are going to get another one joining the ranks with more than 80 attribute points in total, so I want to check which one is actually more effective. So, I crafted a heavy armor set from Yamatai collection, which is my personal favorite, then upgraded it and passed on to Moonraven. It will be a weaker set than Sen has, but statistics from originally Dalincia the Snow Hunter should offset that for our new team member. I cooked some gruel and made a last rune for Croc in this session, as I was trying to get an idea how both of our thralls will work together. However, this is the moment I have realized that shields are somewhat bugging Moonraven, so I took that shield away. Then I have discovered the slave road located in the near vicinity to the Unnamed City that I want to visit, but I was going for something different. I was trying to find a local dungeon called Midnight Grove, and I found this instead, Weaver's Hollow. If the name is going to suggest what we may find inside, my bet is that it's going to be a house of spiders. And so it was. Quite a lot of spiders indeed, so our war party of 4 members, 3 battle enabled and 2 actually doing something, kept pushing forward, clearing the way out of any poisonous arachnids we could find. I haven't expected this to be a place where we could find the demon spider, to be honest, but while we are here and I know we can take on it, I really want to go down there and see what would be the reward for doing so. While I was trying to figure out what's the safest way to get down below, I got to open the chest which contained a green crystal, which apparently cannot be processed with the use of any conventional tools, so I guess there is another use for it. Once I got to the lower floor, I decided to have a walk around this chamber, only because I don't like surprises, especially fighting with the boss, and what I found is this guy over here, Harpagus the Hatcher. He didn't really want to talk to me, and I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's supposed to be silent, but he taught me how to worship Zaf, which, as Dennis Paradis pointed out, has a very useful poison orb that I am interested in using. Anyways, once I have checked the area around Demon Spider, it was time to engage in a fight with this atrocious creature. Our followers didn't really waste time and have just jumped right into the brawl. However, in true Conan's fashion, the spider has glitched underneath the stairs it stood on. So, to unglitch it, I had to move back and hope for the best. When it made a step forward and thankfully managed to come back to a mortal world where we could defeat it. I thought for a second that there will be no rewards for slaying this monstrosity, however with the last harvesting cut, a skeleton key looted. Before I opened the loot chest, I found this DD one, which was opened with the use of previously found green crystal, and it has dropped black dye. As for the loot box, it had a Blade of Adventurer with 76 damage, and that went straight into Tsen's hands. On the way out of Weaver's Hollow, I found this chamber with loads of crystal. This is a new thing for me, as I haven't been here before. We have finished the journey exiting this little cave through a Scuttler's shortcut. Anyways, on that note, I would like to finish today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like or dislike accordingly, drop down a comment below, or maybe subscribe. And if so, I shall see you in the next one. Deynon, out.